Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to create the Nissen family. I'm going to relocate my legacy into Enekjaer, and as this world is not populated, I want to do this myself. So in this video I'm going to tell you the lore I created for the Nissen family. And we start with the matriarch of the family, Katrina Nissen. Her traits are disciplined, frugal, grumpy, clean, and a snob. She is an elderly woman who has two sons. The younger son left home at 18, seeking independence from his mother's strict ways. The older son, Alexander, remained, feeling a deep responsibility to preserve the family's legacy and wealth. At least that is what Katrina is thinking of him. Her husband died a few years ago, but even when he was still alive, she played the key role in the family, managing the house and staff, as he had only married into the family. Katrina is seeming very bitter, but she still tries to maintain the influence over her son's family, and she has a strained relationship with her daughter-in-law Astrid, feeling she's too gentle and permissive with their children. She dotes on her grandson Noah, but her younger granddaughter Matilda doesn't receive as much attention because she will not be the heir of the family's fortune anyway. I think in younger years Katrina probably looked very beautiful, but now she's an old woman and I made her look a bit more stern and bitter like I described her. And for the choosing of her clothes, I wanted to give her a very classic and conservative look with a lot of clothes that look more expensive and chic. For the story, I also thought about bringing her younger son back into the save file at some point to create a little bit more drama, but that is something for me to do in the future, so I still have to plan that out. To create her older son Alexander, I randomized just another elderly sim so I could create a child with both of them, so that Alexander has some genetics and looks from his mother Katrina. He is around 29 years old, he's adventurous, has commitment issues, is flirty, a virtuoso, and also a snob like his mother. He is in the business career and I gave him the level of a CEO because I thought that would match his character. So as I said, Alexander is the oldest son and he was raised with strict discipline and was always his mother's favorite, receiving special treatment. Money is of the utmost importance to him and he will go to great lengths to ensure he doesn't lose his mother's approval. So he married Astrid solely because his mother promised him control of the estate and the inheritance after the birth of their first child. In truth, he has never had really deep feelings for Astrid, using her only as a means to secure his wealth. Throughout their marriage, he secretly engaged in numerous affairs during his business trips, but now his attention has shifted to Mette, the nanny who lives on the estate. While Astrid is occupied with her beloved horses, Alexander enjoys his time with Mette. But how long will it be before Astrid, or even worse, Katrina, uncovers the truth? And for explanation, Mette is another character that will be created in another video, and she, as I said, will be the live-in nanny for the Nissen family. And as you heard, Alexander is kind of a womanizer and a very bad husband. I gave him also a very snobby classic look, and also I didn't want to make him too attractive because as he's kind of a shitty person, I think it would be unfair if he also got the looks to all of the money he has. So I think he looks okay, but not like super attractive. Now we get to Astrid Nissen, Alexander's wife. As a base, I just used this randomized sim I liked. So Astrid is also around 29 years old. As I said, she is a horse lover, so her trait is equestrian. She's also family oriented, hopelessly romantic, loves the outdoors, and she's over emotional. So Astrid is a young and kind-hearted woman who believes in true love. She thought she had found it in Alexander. However, since the birth of their first son Noah, he has paid her little attention. In the beginning, he showered her with affection, and just months after they met, he proposed to her. Now Astrid spends most of her days alone in the large family estate, as Alexander is often busy with work. Her mother-in-law takes on the majority of the childcare, as it is customary in the Nissen family. Astrid often contemplates leaving Alexander, but she hesitates for the sake of their children. She still loves him, but the growing distance between them fills her with sadness. Most of her time is spent at the riding stable, as horses and horseback riding are the only thing that lift her out of her dreary routine. It was there that she met 15-year-old Nora, whom she took under her wing. Since she feels she cannot be the mother she wishes to be for her own children, she has embraced the role for Nora, an orphan who grew up with her grandmother. So as you just heard, Astrid has a very lonely and kinda sad life. She doesn't know why Alexander decided to be so cold all of a sudden, but as I just told you, he married her just so he could get to his family's wealth. And Astrid is not really sure about if she actually should leave him or give the relationship another try. And as with Mette, Nora is another character you will get to know in another Cass video. For her looks, I decided to give her a really friendly and pretty face, and she's a bit more laid back with her clothes than the other two family members, but still has to keep up the kind of conservative chic style for the sake of the Nissen family name. To create the children of Alexander and Astrid, I again used the genetics tool, so the children would look like their parents, and I think that's really practical. So Noah is their older son. He's around 8 years old. He's athletic, also a snob and a virtuoso like his father. To his father, he was merely a means to secure the family fortune, but to Katrina, he represents the opportunity to pass down the Nissen family values to their next generation. And as Noah is already a snob as a child, I think this kind of worked out. Katrina has taken over his upbringing since birth, effectively excluding Astrid from his life. As a result, Noah has grown increasingly distant from his mother. His relationship with his father is similarly distant, which weighs on him, leaving him a sense of emotional isolation. Katrina filled the maternal void and treated him like a king. She was determined to raise him with strict and conservative values, placing great emphasis on his education. From a young age, Noah received music lessons and was trained in lacrosse and golf. All the attention and praise from his grandmother led him to develop an inflated sense of self-worth, making him believe he's superior to other children, even to his younger sister Matilda. So as you just heard, Noah will just be as his father because obviously he's brought up by the same person that Alexander was brought up. For his looks, I decided to give him also more conservative chic clothes, as I think that it is important to Katrina that other people see that he's from a good home and well educated. But as Noah is only 8 years old, there is still a chance that he could become a nicer young boy than he is now and maybe grow into a respectable and friendly man. So we will see how that story is going to play out. And the next sim I created was Matilda Nissen. She's around 5 years old. She's an animal lover and has light sleep. Matilda is the youngest member of the Nissen family. After Noah was born, Alexander had actually no intentions of having more children. However, fate had other plans and Esther became unexpectedly pregnant again. This only caused Alexander to distance himself further from Esther, as he had no desire for another child. Katrina took over Matilda's upbringing as well, but not out of any genuine affection for her, rather to hurt Astrid. Katrina had no real interest in Matilda and often left her in the care of the nanny Mette so that she could focus more on Noah. So that's why I gave her the light sleep trait, because I think this maybe could have effects on her life later as well. So I wanted to give her a kind of bad trait because she was so neglected by all of her family members. And as a result, Matilda has never formed a strong bond with any members of the family, and her only true source of comfort is the nanny Mette, who has been the one consistent figure in her life. So I also only gave her relationship points with Mette. She has still a little bit of relation to the other family members, but only like 10 or maximum 20 points, and with Mette she has a little bit more relationship points than with the rest of the family. And this is the finished Nissen family. They live in the biggest house in Enekjaer, which is quite an expensive mansion, and their net worth is around 800,000 simoleons, which is quite a lot. And I think I've done pretty well with the story, even though I'm not the best at doing that. But I'm really excited to play in Enekjaer with all the characters that I'm about to show you. So I hope you will tune in into my Legacy challenge when I'm going to release the new episodes. So thanks a lot for watching. Bye!